guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's going to be a collab with my friend Claire from Claire's Crafty Corner here on YouTube. It's also a Christmas in July video. Claire does amazing DIY. She does resin crafts, she does woodworking, you name it, she does it. Also in the description there will be a list of artists, as I will call them, not crafters, that does pyro, wood turning, sewing, mixed media. Please feel free to check them out. I would have their videos link in the description as well. Let's jump right into the tutorial. I started off with some regular popsicle sticks, some mini popsicle sticks, some greenery, some holly berries, paint, and also my shoe polish that I use as stain. I took 12 of the regular popsicle sticks and I decided to give them somewhat of a stain. I use the shoe polish rather than regular stain or watered down paint because it's really hard to find brown paint here in the Caribbean. So this acts as a substitute for the stain, and the stain actually takes longer to dry, and this dries in seconds. So I stained 12 of those as well as 12 of the mini ones. I also used some paint which was white and red, and I painted 12 of each of the mini sticks as well on both sides and on the edges as well. And I just let them dry in between each coat. I did 2 coats for each, making sure that the front of the stick or whichever area I was using as the front was more opaque than the other. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Feel free to hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already, and also the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a video. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and occasional videos for collabs and challenges. I must say that if I'm uploading my regulars on a Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I do have a collab to do on a Tuesday or Thursday, I would upload that instead of my regular video. So once everything had dried, I took 3 of the regular the mini popsicle sticks, and I placed them in the center, and then I took 2 more and I placed them slightly lower than those. I then took a piece of a regular popsicle stick and I cut it down to size and glued that down to hold all of the popsicle sticks together. Make sure that you do cut it in size because sometimes they do come apart. I also took some of my hot glue and I placed the regular popsicle sticks on the edges to give that base that I just made a stand, and then I took the last mini popsicle stick and I placed that to the top. So I'm actually making a mini sled with these popsicle sticks. I took some of my jute cord and I just cut a tiny piece so that I can make a hanger so I can hang these ornaments. Once I had that done, I took some of my greenery, I cut it down to size, trim it as well so that it isn't that fluffy, and also I cut 2 of the holly berries and I glued that all down onto the sled. And I did 2 of each color, which was the stained look, white and red. I absolutely love how this mini sled turned out. It looks perfect on my mini tree, and it would look absolutely gorgeous on a tier tree. So for the next DIY, I took some of my cedar strip. I cut 3 pieces down to 8 inches and 2 pieces down to 5 1/4 inches. You can make this as large or as small as you like. This was already cut because I had another project in mind for this, but this seemed like the perfect time to use it for that. I took some of my mini clamps that you can purchase at the dollar store and I clamped it on so that my wood glue would dry. Once it was completely dried, I took one of the other sticks, which is the 5 1/4, and I placed it where I would want my top of my hat to be. And I am making a snowman and I painted that black. You can paint it whatever color you choose. You can stain it. You can do whatever you want to fit your Christmas decor. But this is the colors that I'm using for this video. I gave it 2 coats of paint and I let it dry in between. I also painted the edges and the top. I did took the same piece of wood and I painted another one black, as you can see there, and then I took some of my tan paint. I made a line where I'll be gluing the brim of the hat so that I don't paint on that portion, so that the wood adhere to itself. And I painted the bottom tan. I gave that 2 coats as well, and I did go on either side and the bottom as well, but I did go straight up to the black on the sides. I gave that 2 coats as well, and I let it dry in between each coat. For the brim of the hat, I painted that red. You can, as I said, you can paint this whatever color you choose, and I just painted the edges and one side of this piece of wood. I did let everything dry in between before I started gluing. Once everything was completely dried, I just took a piece of the stick again and I placed it on the top so I can draw out the eyes and the mouth. And I went ahead and I used some of my black acrylic paint and I painted in the eyes, eyelashes, eyebrows, and also the mouth. If you like what you're seeing, please give this video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment below letting me know if you would like to see other characters or the same type of style for other holidays. I would obviously do a video for that. Sorry if the eyes look a little wonky. I did fix that after a while when I realized, and I made it even. You can paint this snowman face white. I just liked the natural look of his face. Here you see me taking some of my makeup. This was like old makeup that I had and I like the colors, so I just transferred them to these little containers and I'm giving him some blush on his cheeks. I did go back in with some black paint so that his mouth, his grin looks a little better. I took a jumbo popsicle stick and I did cut a wooden piece of nose and I painted that with some black and red paint, sorry, and I just added some white paint to the top to give it that effect like if snow had fallen on his nose. And I glued that as well as the brim of the hat onto the snowman. I did use some super jumbo clamps, as you see at the side, on the brim of his hat so that it stays in place while I glue everything together. I also took some of my black and white ribbon, my red and white ribbon, sorry, and I cut some pine and I gave him some greenery to the top of his hat and also cut some berries and I added that as well and I glued it all down together. I also made a bow from that same ribbon and glued that down where both seams met. I love doing these DIYs. I'm in awe of how everything turned out. I really do love how it turned out. It looks so store-bought, so amazing. And also don't forget to check out the other crafters or artists, as I call them, in the description, and also the host's channel, Claire. She does amazing work. She also has a TikTok, and you can find her at Claire's Crafty Corner there as well as on Instagram. I did glue the stand onto the bottom just using some regular hot glue so that this piece can stand. And as I said, you can make this piece as large or as small so that it can fit either outdoor, where you can put some polyacrylic, or also on a tier tray. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.